Okay, hey everyone.
Welcome to Podcast for Your Life.
This is the podcast where we share thoughts from our life.
For yours. I'm Jason.
And I'm Jam. And today we're going to talk about what, Jason?
We're going to talk about all things oral hygiene.
Wow, we're going to have to cover a lot.
Okay, just kidding. We're going to narrow it down a little bit. We're just going to talk about just certain things that are just interesting when we're thinking about oral hygiene. Things like, like toothbrushes. Like the ongoing heated debate over non-electric versus electric toothbrushes.
True. It's very heated. So are we to start there?
Dude, you know what? Let's just start there. Let's jump in. So my philosophy is if you brush your teeth daily, I think that's great.
Wow.
But full disclosure before we start, neither of us are oral surgeons nor dental hygienists. So, we are not liable for any bad habits that you assume after listening to this podcast. Thank you. Okay.
Yeah. I think that qualifies as like a legal document where we are released from any blame.
Right. Yes.
I use an electric toothbrush.
Oh.
But guess what? I haven't for a long time.
Oh, wow.
And then I did just a couple months ago, started using an electric toothbrush.
Why is that?
This Facebook ad that my coworker saw and sent to me about this electric toothbrush, and basically it's pretty cheap, and they send you new toothpaste and brush heads. It's basically just like Dollar Shave Club, but for your teeth, for your life.
It's like Dollar Shave Club for your teeth for your life.
Yeah, exactly. And so now I use one. What about you?
That's cool. Yeah, I just use a good old-fashioned, regular, soft, medium sort of a toothbrush. My personal favorite is Colgate's 360. I just feel like the idea of a 360 brush that's really not doing 360. It's just kind of like doing like two sides of a tooth. Or anyway, I feel like it does a good job.
Well, when I think about my mouth, I think about, I want coverage for 360 degrees of my mouth.
Yeah.
Like all the degrees in there. There's a lot going on in there. In fact, there's 360 degrees of going on in there.
And that's only on one plane, too, which if you think about it, your mouth is like four-dimensional or three-dimensional.
Well, it is four-dimensional. It exists on a...
But 360 is just...
It's true.
It's just one plane, right?
You're only implying one... Wow.
You know?
Yep.
So that's why if you think about like 360, then you're not getting the top of the tooth.
That's
because you can't get the bottom of the tooth, so you're definitely not going that way. So.
Right.
Anyway. So when it comes to electric toothbrushes versus non-electric, I think electric definitely are, I don't know the science or statistics behind it, but electric's probably going to be a little more comprehensive, but it also depends on how like long you're spending brushing your teeth. If you're like a 30 seconds done, kind of a person with an electric toothbrush, I don't think that that's really going to get the coverage that you need compared to just brushing it by hand and doing it for 30 seconds. I think it's not just about the quality of the brushing. It's also about like the time you take and how much of your mouth you get.
Yeah. One thing I like about the electric toothbrush I use now is that the company, I don't know if we should say it because it's kind of like shouting out a brand or whatever, is that they are basically kind of philosophy is like, here's some good things you should do about brushing your teeth. Here's some tips that you should do no matter what kind of toothbrush you use. Kind of educating you on how to do that. But their sort of stance is like, if you do all the right things, and you use an electric toothbrush instead of a regular, it's gonna be just that much better. It's kind of the thing. It's not like it's like the key isn't really whether you're getting some electricity up in your mouth or not, but more like if you're doing the right things, because an electric toothbrush can move more quickly in a way that it'd be pretty hard to replicate with your hand.
Right.
So I think that's really the key there, but it's not going to solve all your problems.
It's like the quality of the brushing.
But one thing I want to zoom out a little bit because
let's zoom out. Let's take a step back and do some zooming.
Let's do some unzooming, so to speak. Like toothbrushing is a little weird.
Just like individual toothbrushing.
Teeth brushing your teeth is a little strange. And I don't mean it in a way that's like not worth doing, but I'm just kind of thinking like, sometimes I'm like, man, we've evolved a lot. Life has changed a lot over time. The ways of cleaning your teeth has changed a lot over time. But it's kind of like, fundamentally, teeth are a thing that we have in order to eat things. And man, like...
That's all they do.
Dang, dude. They require a lot of maintenance. For instance, like, other animals that have teeth, because we're sort of animals too, don't maintain them. Not saying that I want to be lazy and not maintain them, but I'm like, think of all the things we could grow in our mouth to then, like, use to chew food with and survive. Like, man, these are a lot of trouble. Like...
Yeah, teeth are basically bones, you know, if you think about it, which is just so interesting that it's just like, oh, I have bones sticking out of my mouth. But they're like the same complexity as bones from what I understand.
It sounds like it's something I could use with, like, my nieces and nephews, where I'd be like, have you ever seen your bones? They'd be like, ooh, no, I haven't. I'd be like, well, you ever seen your teeth? They'd be like, what?
I don't fully know if teeth are bones, though, but I think that's what I've heard. Like, they're the same kind of, like, they're the same kind of, yeah, that word.
Yeah, it's like when you're, like, feeling it in your bones, you could say, like, something about how you're eating something. Like,
I'm feeling in my bones.
This burger's great. I feel it in my bones, specifically my mouth bones, the ones that I chew with.
Yeah, I don't think I'll ever say that. But yeah, it is really interesting how we have this whole industry now of dental and oral hygienists dedicated just to your teeth. Like, you get in the dentist chair, and they're not like, hey, let's check out your elbow bones or your knee bones, but they're just there to check out your mouth. And it's like, yeah, the mouth is an incredibly complex place and stuff, but it's just amazing how we have this whole industry, and then you get orthodontists that do, the oral surgeries, like wisdom teeth removal, or just tooth removal in general. You get implants.
Braces.
You get braces, dentures.
Yeah.
Just like all this stuff. It's like, whoa, there's like so much stuff that's more than just brushing your teeth and flossing, you know?
Yeah. It's like weird too, because they're just as important. Like, teeth are pretty important. Obviously, eating is important. Like, being able to chew through things that are sort of tough or whatever. And there's like, I forget the figures, but apparently like our jaw is really strong, and our teeth are, like, it's a huge deal to be able to eat and survive and, not starve. But it's also like, well, our eyes are, no, that's actually not.
But then they also have optometrists for eyes.
You're right. Okay.
But if you think about it, it's amazing about teeth is that, like, have you ever just like bit your finger?
Oh my
goodness. On purpose? Like, obviously you're not gonna like bite down really hard, but it's interesting how sharp teeth are. Like, we feel them and they're like, oh, that's not that bad. But when you squeeze down, you're like, whoa, like I can bite somebody's finger off potentially. And if you think about it, if we're eating like meats, like proteins, like that's basically muscle that you're chewing through.
Yeah. If you're ever feeling down about your abilities in life, just remember that you can bite someone's finger off if you so desired. And not to say you should do that, but just everybody's got potential.
Wow.
So just be encouraged.
That's your motivation for the week.
It's weird, but so maybe it's not that weird. But like if eyes have a whole industry too with like optometry and stuff, maybe all the important characteristics of being a human like have industries about them to maintain them and make sure that humans have the ability to function and whatnot, even if it costs a lot of money. But like, one thing that's I think is a big part of teeth and dental hygiene stuff, there's this element of like the cosmetic side of it that I don't like, and I'm not sure how to like negotiate between like making good healthy choices and not getting caught up in the cosmetics of it. Because like a lot of people have had braces. My brothers both had braces. I haven't had braces, but in a way it's like I'm not really sure what it'd be like if I had like a really some crooked teeth or something, maybe out of care. So I don't want to like make it sound like that's not a big deal. I haven't had to experience that, but like there's definitely the element of like having super white teeth and like selling whitening stuff that's like really popular, is a big, a lot of money made there. But it's not really like, just because your teeth maybe aren't super white doesn't mean they're like bad or dirty or like falling out.
They're still bones.
Yeah, so that's where it's like a cosmetic deal. I don't know. What do you think about that? It's like, it's a hard negotiation between those two things.
Yeah, I would agree. I think there's definitely an element where it's like, we need to decide whether or not this issue I'm dealing with is a cosmetic thing versus like an actual need. Like, for example, with wisdom teeth, I have all four of mine in, and at this time, no need to get them out. which just means that I have a big mouth. And with those, I think that's a need, you know? Like, I think at one time, because people were potentially eating rocks or just, like, eating hard stuff, or they just didn't have, like, implants and stuff like that, or crowns, they would lose teeth. And when you're losing teeth, because what happens when your wisdom teeth come in is they come in, they start to push all your teeth forward and kind of squeeze them a little bit to fit in your mouth. Yes, having a big mouth is one thing, but if you don't have a big mouth, if you have a normal sized mouth or whatever, it's going to move your teeth together. It's going to like squish them more together. So if you are missing a tooth, the wisdom teeth would almost like replace it.
Oh, I see.
It would like almost replace it. So I think that's kind of like how it was engineered. Sorry, not how it was engineered, like wisdom teeth are engineered, but like how we were created is to have a tooth to replace those other teeth. In the same way of when we lose our baby teeth, it's because we have other adult teeth that are stronger that come in to replace those like little baby things. So.
Dude, crazy thing. I heard, so there's this guy, he actually used to be a youth pastor when I was a kid. He had 2 sets of baby teeth. Straight up. Okay. I'm serious. He lost his baby teeth, had another set.
Wow.
Lost those, then has adult teeth in. But because it was such a mess, his tongue is actually like kind of cut up.
Oh my gosh.
Like, at one point in his life, his mouth was chaos in there. And I'm like, that is crazy. Of all the things that can go wrong, like, it's kind of annoying. Yeah, I know weird. People experience, like, teeth coming in weird and stuff, and that's, like, out of your control. But I'm like, dude, that's even weirder. Beyond weird. 2 sets of baby teeth.
Yeah, it's weird.
Like,
he's probably an alien.
Maybe he's like an X-Men. That was his power, but just like for a little bit of time.
I have the power of growing teeth.
Or he was just like had the ability to like. You know, what chewing is called Fletcherizing.
Interesting.
It's like the first stage of digestion, and it's technically part of digestion because your saliva starts to break things.
That totally makes sense.
So maybe he was like really good metabolism and digestion.
Yeah, he probably had great digestion.
Yeah.
Yeah, the movie Fletch is a great movie too.
True.
While we're on that subject.
That.
So, do you think there's a better way? Do you think we should just kind of get by with just brushing our teeth and, you know, flossing, or do you think there's something else that people should do for their teeth?
I really like the idea of mouthwash in the sense that, like, hold on. Thinking that in the future, it could get really a lot better because when you think about it, a liquid can go places that it's hard for a solid to go.
True.
And so, whether it's floss or... but also floss can be, can hurt and stuff or whatever, and can
it hurts bleeding if you don't floss enough.
Right. But like, or even toothbrush or whatever. But like, my hope is that someday we can have a liquid that is the perfect thing and that can go where other things can't go and clean your mouth in an also easier, but also better way.
Kind of like a gel sort of thing, like a Jello. Like you kind of just like pour it in, it kind of sets, and then you like spit it out, and it just like kind of pulls all the like chicken, the steak that's stuck in your teeth.
That's actually a great idea. I was thinking more like Drano, where it's like it's so like strong that it just like
if it's burning organic material in your mouth, I don't think I want to put it in my mouth because it'll burn other organic material.
Just for a little bit. You have to spit it out really quick. It's like a 10-second deal.
Oh gosh, that's a really cool idea, but. We'll put that one on the bucket list. So, yeah, I think at the end of the day, as long as we're brushing our teeth, I think it gets rid of germs, and I think it also gets rid of smell. And I think the germs contribute to smell. So,
true.
That. Anyway, those are just our thoughts on teeth brushing for your life.
Yeah,
flossing. It's wisdom teeth for your life.
Yeah, oral. I don't know what we're gonna call this. But that's a quick little snapshot of some thoughts and ideas on that probably won't be that helpful for your decisions in the future, but you might have something to think about next time you brush your teeth.
Yeah, seriously. Next time you brush your teeth, you'll be like, man, I'm so grateful for these bones. And with that, we will say goodbye for today, guys. Thanks for listening, and we'll talk to you soon.
Yep. Bye, guys.